Hey kiddos, and welcome back to music class. My name is Mrs. Lizaola, and I am so glad that you have decided to join me for another music lesson. Now you might remember that the last few weeks we've been taking a break from learning about that really cool piece of music called Carnival of the Animals, and we've been taking a break because the month of February is Black History Month. So we've been studying and looking at and listening to the music of a couple of different Black musicians. We listened to Beyonce, who's a pop musician, and we listened and moved to some music from Scott Joplin, who wrote ragtime music for the piano. And this week we are looking at another musician who's important for Black History Month. His name is Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong, and yes, maybe his arms were really strong, but it wasn't a nickname. That really is his last name, Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong was born 120 years ago. He was born in the year 1901. Louis Armstrong was 120 years ago, and he was a really cool musician. You see, Louis Armstrong, he wrote music, he sang music, and he played music. He even was an actor. Very talented man, Louis Armstrong. He was really, really famous because he has a very special sounding voice, which you'll hear in a little bit, but he also was really, really good on a certain instrument. The instrument that Louis Armstrong played is part of a family called the brass family of instruments. And it's called the brass family because all of the instruments that we call the brass family, they're all made out of the same material, and it's brass. It looks sort of like a shiny metal. All right, and Louis Armstrong, he played a brass instrument, and he was very, very good at it. That's what got him to be so famous. And the brass instrument that he played, it's about this big, and it has a horn at the end that all the sound comes out of, and he buzzes his lips into the mouthpiece to create vibrations that travel through all of the tubes and come out that horn to create a sound. And this brass instrument that he buzzes into to create the sound that comes out of the other end, it also has some things that he pulls down like this. Some valves, and there's three of them, three main ones that he uses. Does anybody know, do you think, some of you might know what instrument this is. It's a brass instrument, so that means it looks sort of like shiny metal, and you blow in one end, and then it comes out of a big horn at the other end, and it has some keys that you push down. This instrument that Louis Armstrong played, that's part of the brass family, is called a trumpet, and it looks like that. It's pretty. And that's what Louis Armstrong played. He was very, very good at it. He was a trumpet player. But I told you he was also a singer. And sometimes he even wrote his own songs, and he had a really special voice. Sometimes when I show kids his voice, they kind of giggle because it doesn't really sound like a singing voice that I hear on the radio or in movies. It's special, it's kind of scratchy, and it's a really wonderful voice. It made him different, and it made his music stand out. It was something cool and new to listen to because he doesn't sound like everybody else, and I want to show you really quick what he sounds like. So put on your best musician listening ears and see if you can listen to how his voice is different than other musicians, than other singers. Let's listen. This is Louis Armstrong.
I see trees of green,
It's very scratchy, isn't it?
red roses too.
But it's beautiful.
I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
It does sound kind of different, doesn't it? But it's a beautiful voice. So now you know Louis Armstrong, he played the trumpet, but he also has a very special, kind of raspy, sort of scratchy, but beautiful singing voice. And that one that we just listened to, it's called What a Wonderful World, and it's maybe one of his most famous things that he's ever sang for people. It's a beautiful song, What a Wonderful World. And the other day, I was in the bookstore. I love to go to the bookstore and just browse and look. Sometimes I don't even buy things. I just like to go and see what's there and sit down on the ground and get comfy and read lots of books. Especially like to read lots of kids' books. Those are my favorites. Don't tell any grown-ups. I think kids' books are way more fun. And so I was at the bookstore and I was browsing and I was just sitting on the ground reading some books, and I looked up. And you're never gonna guess what I saw. You will never believe it. I didn't even know it existed, but remember that song that I just showed you by Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World? Well, turns out Right there at the very bookstore that I was laying down on the ground and reading books and browsing, I looked up, and in that very bookstore there was a book called What a Wonderful World. I had no clue anyone even wrote it. And this What a Wonderful World, it uses all the words from Louis Armstrong's voice. And so it has pictures that match, and I really want to read it with you. So if it's all right with you, you can get nice and comfy, and you're going to sit back and relax, and you are going to listen to and watch me read What a Wonderful World. In fact, I think I'll sing it, but maybe not using the scratchy voice like his. But I think I will sing for you What a Wonderful World. All right. Now this book starts right here on this page with lots of beautiful trees. I see 1, 2, 3 trees with nice green leaves all up on the top part of them. You see, in this book and in this song by Louis Armstrong, he celebrates a whole bunch of nature. And he starts with these trees. It goes like this. I see trees of green. And then we turn the page and there's roses. Red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And then he sits right there. Actually, he lays down right there on the grass and looks up and starts to think. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. On this page, he's in a hot air balloon around all of the blue sky and the clouds. I see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright, blessed day, and then it turns dark. The dark, sacred night. And I think to myself, there he is thinking again, what a wonderful world. My favorite page, the rainbow. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky. Look at all those beautiful colors. Well, he sings that those colors are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. Oh, that's so sweet. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, oh, this is beautiful. What a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself. He's on a horse there. What a wonderful world. Isn't that special? I love this book, and I'm so glad that I happened to see it that one day while I was at the bookstore. What a Wonderful World. And that song is by Louis Armstrong. He sings it with his beautiful and special, scratchy, raspy voice. Now, you remember at the beginning of the story, I told you that in this song, Louis Armstrong likes to sing all about nature, different things that you might see in nature and how they make our world so wonderful. Well, I was going to tell you, I actually like to sing about nature too. I really do. And I thought maybe today, just like Louis Armstrong, we could sing about nature. And remember that very first line, the very first page? It was trees. Well, our song is about trees too, except it doesn't start with a tree. It starts before the tree even grows from the hole in the ground. It's true. This song starts all the way back there, like when you're digging a hole and first there's a hole in the ground and then inside the hole grows a tree and then from the tree grows a branch. But you'll see what I'm talking about. So you have some choices for this one. You have 2 things you can do in this activity to choose from, and it's up to you. You can choose either one. The first one is you can draw along. So if you want to draw along with this activity, you can grab something to draw with and something to draw on. So like a piece of paper and some coloring pencils maybe, or maybe some paper and some markers or a dry erase board, anything you can find. This time I'm actually going to draw on my iPad using my special pencil for drawing on my iPad. But if you decide that that's the thing you want to do, you want to draw along with this music, what you're going to do is everything that we sing, that you hear us singing about, you're going to try and draw. And it's kind of silly because it goes so fast, you won't hardly have any time to draw, and it ends up kind of funny. So don't get frustrated if it's going too fast. It's supposed to be kind of silly. And you'll see on mine is pretty silly too because the song just goes too fast. It keeps adding more and more things, and you have to keep adding more and more things to the picture, but that's what makes it fun. So that's the first option. If you want to draw along, you can go grab some things to draw with. You could pause it so that you can go grab some things to draw with and some things to draw on. But if you decided that you don't want to draw and you'd rather maybe sing, option number 2 is for you. So if you decided not to draw and you wanted to do option number 2, you are going to be my echo. So in this next video, you will see that I am singing, and then I have my assistant Harper next to me, and she's being my echo. All right, and that's what you're going to do too. So when I sing a line, you guys will echo me, and that's your only job, just to echo. All right? I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. Here we go. Harper's gonna help us. She'll be our echo. So I'll sing first and she'll echo me. You're gonna sing the echo like Harper. Here we go. There was a hole. Like that. In the middle of the ground. The prettiest hole. That you ever did see. And we sing the next part together. And the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And in that hole, there was a tree. The prettiest tree. That you ever did see. Oh, the tree in the hole in the ground, where the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. Very nice. Let's go a little faster. And on that tree, there was a branch, the prettiest branch, that you ever did see. Oh, the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole in the ground, where the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And on that branch, there was a nest, the prettiest nest that you ever did see. Oh, the nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole in the ground, where the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And in that nest, there was an egg, the prettiest egg that you ever did see. Oh, the egg in the nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole in the ground, where the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And in that egg, there was a bird, the prettiest bird that you ever did see. Oh, the bird and the egg and the egg and the nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole in the ground, where the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. Aw, that was good fun. Thank you so much for following along with me, either with your drawing or with your singing voice. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. Now let's get ready to sing goodbye before I send you on your way. So stand on up if you're able. All right, and we're gonna get our snapping fingers ready and our stomping feet ready, and let's do it. Here we go. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye, everybody, goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Bye.